Jambo Sana from Kenya, Africa. Hey, my name is Marilyn Sorensen, and I am going to do a preview of our spring 2018 Soul Sister Safari. We've had so much interest. We've had many people already scoop up some of the spots that are available, but you've also had some questions. And so I wanted to give you a preview, kind of an overview of what you can expect. So for those of you that join us live, fantastic. I am recording this. So if you have girlfriends, sisters, mothers, daughters that you want to have this information, just either post on Facebook, you can send me a private message, or in any of the threads that promoted this live Zoom webinar, and let me know that you want the recording, and I'll send that out to you. Now, if you're not part of the private Soul Safari group on Facebook, let me know as well. I'll add you there because this will be posted after we're complete as well. So let's go ahead and let me get the screen share. Okay, here we go. So again, this is the spring 2018 Soul Sister Safari, where you're going to discover your soul purpose while paying it forward. Now, we have many choices when it comes to soul safaris in 2018. This one, however, happens to be a ladies only Soul Sister Safari. So whether you're an adult, you have a teenager, you're a grandmother, we have women of all ages that are interested in coming on this adventure. So Soul Safari has been around for a few years. I started coming to Kenya in 2013, and I have lived here since 2015. So this is home to me, and it is my honor and privilege to give you a tour of my home country now. And in coordination with my co-hostess with the mostest that you're going to hear about. So this is a live picture. We had a recent Soul Sister Safari in April of this year, and it was so popular, and we had so many people reach out and say, hey, are you going to do another one? And so yes, we said yes to all of you who wanted to have this opportunity as well. So this picture that you see on the screen is us actually walking onto the private beach that, yes, you will have the opportunity to relax and rejuvenate in as well. So one of my favorite quotes, I post a lot about travel. I used to have my own travel agency years ago, and I'm actually getting ready to partner with a company to launch an arm of travel to support our Soul Safari guests as well. But all of the books in the world, the best stories are found between the pages of a passport, for sure. In fact, I caught the travel bug when I was just 12, 13 years old and attended the World's Fair in Vancouver, Canada. And one of the things I loved is we were given this little passport, and every time you went to a different country's pavilion, they stamped your book, like a real passport. And I think that's where I unlocked my travel genes. So let's talk about what you're going to experience on this adventure. So your hostesses with the mostest, that's me and my partner in adventure, Elisa McKenna. In the background, you can tell, is also our director of adventure at Soul Safari, Mr. Samuel Oladeri. So you're in great hands as we have this adventure together. So I am your partner in purpose. Like I mentioned, I have lived here for a couple of years now, and so I'm very familiar with the area, the culture, the customs, and of course, what many people from around the world want to experience when they come to Kenya for the first time, or like our other co-hostess, Elisa, like to experience over and over again. She will be your partner in play and creativity. We have collaborated on many adventures before, and because she has such an amazing creative streak, she is going to lead you in many of the creative exercises in our first portion of this adventure, which is in Diani Beach on the coast of Kenya. So Karibu, Kenya. Karibu in Swahili means welcome. Welcome to Kenya. Here are some of the details, some of the overview. This will be held April 10th through April 22nd. This is more of a voluntourism trip. So yes, you'll be relaxing on the beaches in beautiful white sand, but we also have some pay it forward projects that you will be a part of. You will be visiting the eastern coast of Kenya. Yes, Kenya is on the coast, so that means gorgeous beaches on the Indian Ocean. Warm bathtub, kind of warm waters that you'll really enjoy, as well as the Masai Mara. So where in the world is Kenya? Here's the map of the continent of Africa, and in red you will see Kenya. So yes, we're on the east coast of Africa. We have some surrounding neighbors, Tanzania, or as you will hear it called here in Kenya, Tanzania, is how Kenyans refer to it. Uganda, Sudan, Ethiopia, and Somalia are our neighbors. However, if you look on the map, you'll see the word Mombasa toward the southern tip of Kenya. That's where we will be for the first part of your adventure. And then we will make our way toward the Great Rift Valley, as you'll see kind of to the left on your screen, the Masai Mara Game Park, voted one of the best places to experience safari in the world. So a couple of the fun facts about Kenya. We do lie on the equator, so that's one of the reasons many of you have wanted to come, especially in April. Maybe it's for spring break, maybe it's an early graduation gift to your daughter, your granddaughter, your niece. The weather here is warm and tropical that time of year, especially on the coast. Like I mentioned before, it's been voted best place to experience safari. Also, one of our largest exports here in Kenya is actually coffee. So the Kenya coffee is world renowned. However, about 90% of Kenyans only drink tea, which most people are surprised as well. The gorgeous tea plantations around here are extraordinary. Swahili and English are spoken here. Swahili is the national language that is spoken. English is the international language. So for those of you that are maybe novice international travelers, you will find it still very easy to navigate. Signage around here is always in English, so it's very easy. Not to mention, you'll always be with me, Elisa, and our Director of Adventure. International yachting competitions happen on the coast of Kenya. It's a fairly new country. It gained its independence in 1963, so there's only been a handful of presidents in this country since they gained independence. And of course, one of the things that most people are surprised by are the stunning beaches. I'm going to show you some pictures of the gorgeous white sand beaches here. So to start you off, many people are wondering, but Marilyn, where are we going to stay? Like I've seen some of your pictures on Facebook and sometimes it looks a little bit rural. Absolutely, I have lots of adventures all around the country, but no, you're not going to be living in a dung hut for the 2 weeks that you're here. For the first week, we have a private beach house on the gorgeous area of Diani Beach, which is in the Mombasa area. And these are pictures from this. This is the upstairs relax and lounge space. This is one of the oversized day beds. It's more of a in-between, kind of an oversized queen size bed up there. You can see how stunning this is. We have this reserved and rented for quite a few upcoming events. It does have its own private pool. There are actually the main house and a separate guest house, and it's interconnected between this lounge area and a pool. We will be gathering together as a group often throughout every day, especially for mealtime. This is more of the look of the upstairs. So yes, we will have TV, although the chances of you watching it are probably like zero. But we do have activities planned in this beautiful palatial retreat home. This is a picture that I took in April when I was there of the white sand beaches. The sand is actually so refined that it's almost like powder not quite so grainy. And this is how secluded it is. It is a private beach, so you're not going to be bombarded by other tourists or people trying to sell you things. And this is on the Indian Ocean. The Indian Ocean has beautiful kind of turquoise blue waters, and it's very warm. Most people describe it as bathtub warm, which you'll experience as well. So Elisa, who will be conducting and leading a lot of the activities the first week that you're here, the first half of this Soul Sister adventure, we will be doing many activities on the beach, creative exercises, art journaling, craft projects, which we're going to give you a little bits of nuggets, but we're not going to spoil all the surprises yet. But when you do register, you are going to be a part of the private Facebook group where we will be going over more details as well. So here's what you can expect with your Kenya experience. So at Soul Safari, we've always made 2 guarantees. Number 1, you will never be the same. And number 2, you will fall in love with children that you can't bring home. In fact, I can guarantee it with one of our Pay It Forward projects in the Mombasa area on Sunday, which is the feeding station. So there is an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So this is, one of the reasons that we have been excited to have a ladies only event again. So we encourage you to look and see who you want to have adventures with in your circle of influence, whether it's sisters, friends, mothers, daughters, nieces. We've had aunties and nieces come together. So ladies only on this trip. So let's get creative. Love this picture. And yes, this is one of the creative projects that we will be doing with probably some pretty unique rocks that we have available here in Kenya. We'll also really be focusing throughout this adventure on your life purpose. Your life purpose is the reason, the force, the existence and source of your soul's desire to create and fulfill your legacy. So yes, we're going to gather and connect as women on many different levels, something that both Elisa and I have been doing for years, and facilitating experiences that give you the opportunity to have this extraordinary experience. Now, just to let you know, we will be having trip training. So whether you are an experienced international traveler or you are a novice at this, let me just go ahead and mute, then, it will give you the training, kind of the confidence to know that you're prepared to come. So we will have a series of trip trainings, which include packing, what to pack. Some people are worried about immunizations or vaccinations, I should say. None are required. We'll talk about that. Some of our Pay It Forward projects and things that you can bring with you, things to leave at home, question and answers every trip training. So how to pack light, how to pack smart, and how you can leave some of the things here to pay it forward as well. So you do have room for some of the fun things that people seem to want to take home. We will also have a trip training on the possible shopping opportunities that you will have. Some of the fun items that many people were looking for in our last Ladies Only Soul Safari, beaded sandals, gorgeous leather beaded sandals, hand beaded, lots of jewelry, beaded jewelry, different jewelry with shells, coins, all kinds of options. So we will help you prepare for your shopping budget as well. Of course, along the way, you're going to get to meet many of the beautiful Kenya people throughout the country. So a lot of you wonder about travel requirements. Yes, a passport is required to travel out of the country and into the country. So far we've had many people interested from North America. We've had people come from Portugal, Europe. So the travel requirements are a passport and, yes, a visa, which we'll talk about as well. Here's some more pictures that I've taken of the Diani Beach in Mombasa area. One of the ways that we'll get to travel throughout the city on this portion of the adventure are tuk-tuks, the little green, it's kind of like a golf cart that's covered. It's one of my favorite ways to travel throughout the Mombasa and Diani area because it's open air, it's tropical, it feels great to have the breeze, and you get to sit with two of your friends and see kind of the up close and personal view of the Mombasa Diani area. So your first travel day will be April 10th, coming from your home airport, whatever you prefer. When you do register, you'll receive a Soul Safari guest information packet that we ask you to fill out because we kind of take the guesswork out for you. Our travel concierge team will be doing fare watches for you so that we can get the best price with the shortest travel time as well. So when you're welcome to Kenya, again, Caribou Kenya means welcome to Kenya in Swahili, you will arrive at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, which is in Nairobi. All of the flights we will be booking, regardless of what area of the countryside you're coming from, we do have you arrive in the evening. Most of you will be arriving sometime between 8:30 p.m. to about 10 o'clock p.m. Nairobi time. One of the travel tips I can give you is no matter in the world where you're traveling, I always encourage you to arrive in the evening. It makes adjustment to time zones much easier. When you arrive, you will go through immigration and have your visa distributed to you. You'll pick up your luggage and go through customs. We have a very detailed plan and map of the airport so that you know step by step, take a left here, go right here. This is what you say, this is what you present. We have examples and copies of what you fill out on that flight coming into Nairobi as far as immigration and customs. So it's easy breezy for you. In fact, your visa is already assigned and approved prior to you arriving. It's one of the details we take care of you with so that you don't have to worry about any of those details. So a little bit about our Pay It Forward projects for this beautiful adventure. We say you have two hands, one to help yourself, the second to help others. And so we have selected a few. We always like to help the Days for Girls project. It is a program that provides washable menstrual kits to girls in developing countries. We have many sewing enterprises here that we have started and sponsored that really help girls stay in school, because managing menstruation when you don't have money and resources, then it effectively really has consequences of girls missing 5 to 7 days a month of school, getting behind. Their absence and dropout rate is really high, which then equates to early marriage or female genital mutilation in some of the tribes, and again, marriage. So it is one of the projects that we will be serving. Also, just to give you a little bit of background, girls throughout the world who do not have the resources financially or otherwise use some of the things that you can see on the screen to try and manage their monthly cycle. So a simple solution of providing washable menstrual kits that last 3 or more years keeps a girl in school and changes the trajectory of her life. And as we know, if you educate a girl, you educate a family, and you change generations to come. So in our travel training and in our Pay It Forward projects, we will talk more about what are in those kits and how you can spread the word in your communities to support along the way. We will also, here's some of the girls receiving their kits. We do a workshop before we present them with their kits so they know how to use them. They understand more about their bodies. They get to meet you because oftentimes they need to see other girls, women who are doing the things that they dream of, you know, having their own business, being an employee at a really great company, getting to travel the world. So it's really encouraging for them to have conversations with our Soul Safari guests, because it really gives them hope. Sometimes we have clean water wells and filter projects. One of the projects for sure we'll be doing is the Tenkes School in Mau Forest, where we have begun a library, and in 2018 we will be building a separate structure, an additional structure at the school to house a library, which will also have multi-purpose uses for pop-up dental, medical, vision clinics, as well as continuing education. And of course, while we were in Mombasa on that Sunday, we will be serving at the feeding station. So when we were there for the last Soul Safari, we actually fed 2,900 children that day. So we feed them a hot, warm meal, and then we send them home with supplies, food rations for about another 4 people. So it's an overwhelmingly heart wide open, amazing experience. I promise you will never be the same after that. So here are some pictures of the Mau Forest and the countryside, which you'll be visiting. And of course, we wouldn't say Soul Safari if we weren't going on safari, right? So yes, of course, we're going to see animals, animals, animals. So on the Masai Mara, which is the second half of your adventure, you'll get to hang out with the Maasai tribe, which is one of the most remote tribes on the planet. And of course, we're going to see animals like zebras, cheetahs, lions, giraffes. And this is a very up close and personal experience. This is Lion King Live. So you will definitely want to bring your camera and probably an SD card. On average, we find that in the nearly 2-week experience that you're here, most people take somewhere between 3,000 and 4,000 photos. And if you're like some of the women that have already signed up, I already know that you take a ton of photos. One of the things that I always caution every group, every time, is please don't just, you know, if you're really committed to good pictures, don't just bring your phone, although phones are fabulous these days and take great pictures. One of the things that we commonly experience is someone not having enough space on their phone to take all the photos that they want, whether it's because of apps and storage or whatnot, or just the clarity. Now, most of these photos, by the way, are not zoomed in. We get that close to the animals. So elephants, yes. We're in a Land Cruiser, an open Land Cruiser, so you are in a vehicle, you're definitely safe, but you are up close. Now, yep, here's our own personal scar. Yeah, he'd been in a little bit of a tussle with another male lion, of course, fighting for a girl. Leopards. Now, one of the reasons we are very picky about our safari guides and drivers is because we want them to know the area. So we choose local Maasai who live on the Masai Mara, who grew up there. They know the area and they know how to track animals well. So seeing rare animals like the leopard. Yes, this is one of my favorite shots in the last year, is seeing the leopard on the ground and getting these gorgeous pictures. By the way, ladies, leopards, much bigger cats than you would imagine. Hippos, yes, we will be along the Mara River, so you will have the opportunity to see hippos, which again, much bigger animals in person than you probably can imagine. Lots of different monkeys, howler monkeys, what are they called? Sorts of the sea. We're going to go to a monkey reserve. So you're going to get to see most of the different kinds of monkeys that are in the country. Yes, ostriches are native to Africa. So you will get to see them. Giraffes, which are just one of the coolest animals. And again, much bigger than I had ever imagined from the zoos and things that I visited growing up. Sunsets. If you are a fan of sunsets, there is nothing like sunsets on the Masai Mara in Kenya. Yes, they are kind of those Nat Geo, National Geographic photos with those beautiful umbrella acacia trees, kind of one just standing there in the middle of nowhere with these beautiful sunsets, which also means that yes, sunrises are equally gorgeous. Again, we will be hanging out on the second leg of your adventure with the Maasai tribe. You will get to meet many warriors at a traditional working village. Like I mentioned, they are one of the most remote tribes left on the planet who practice their cultural heritage on a daily basis. So you will definitely be impressed with their colorful native wear, both of the men and the women. You'll get to be up close and personal with them as well, singing, dancing, touring their villages, seeing how they work, also meeting many of your age mates that are from that tribe. So here's one of the most common questions that we get. So Marilyn, what about the food? I'm worried about getting sick, or if I don't want to try weird things. Okay, so if lobsters are weird to you, maybe. This is our personal chef while we're on the Diani beach in Mombasa, first leg of our adventure. He is Ali. He's been at this beautiful home for 15 years now. And because we are on the beach, yes, we can have surf and turf. For food here in Kenya is very fresh. It is local, usually organic, non-GMO, because GMO is not allowed in this country. So things taste different. Most people will admit that they eat more volumes of food while they're here, but yet they lose a couple of pounds. In fact, we did a little survey of one of our last groups, and most people lost between 6 and 8 pounds while they were here, but they ate a lot more. So I can't guarantee it, but it does happen on a very regular basis. This is what a typical Kenyan meal looks like. On the left, the orange is actually carrots and cabbage, kind of a little coleslaw. Some of the best beef, if you are a meat eater, is found in Kenya. Again, organic, free-range, happy cows that have been sang to by the Maasai. And then that on the right is called iskuma wiki. It is a kale. It's kind of a kale or like a southern greens. And then the white in the middle is actually called ugali. It's white corn maize. So similar to polenta or grits that are a little bit thicker. One of the meals that I always have Ali make us are samosas. They're little beef-filled pockets with fresh limes and oranges that you squeeze over the top. If you haven't seen my posts about the glorious avocados that grow here, you bet your boots we're having some killer guacamole. Hopefully you all like guacamole or avocados. If you don't, you're disqualified for coming. No, I'm totally joking. But avocados are huge here, and they're very fruity and sweet. They're delicious. So lots of fresh food like guacamole, chips, kind of a Greek salad. So cucumbers, tomatoes, very, very fresh food. Bajia is potatoes in this light batter with cilantro and some seasonings. It's delicious. This is chapati. For those of you that are familiar with Cafe Rio or Costa Vida, you will find that chapati is very similar. It's like a thicker tortilla, and most people fall in love with chapati and want to know how to make it on their own. Kachumbari, which really is like pico de gallo. It is simply cilantro, tomatoes, onions, and sometimes bell peppers. Fruit, because we are on the coast, we will have a never-ending supply of, you can see avocados, mangoes, fingerling bananas, pineapple, watermelon, oranges. So throughout the day and for breakfast, every morning, you're going to have a variety of delicious fruit, fruit juices and smoothies. And this is also another typical meal. Greens or kales, seasoned beef, different reds as well. Again, the details for this trip. The duration of the trip, April 10th through April 22nd, of 2018. The location is in Kenya, Africa. The total number of guests are 10 Soul Sisters. Currently, we have 5 openings. So if you do have someone that you would love to have this experience with, I highly recommend reaching out to her and probably acting quickly. The expedition investment is $2,900 in US dollars, which means that we can get creative with payments right now because you do have a few months. So what's included in that expedition investment? Arrival assistance at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. Of course, like I said, our travel concierge team will be handling all those lovely details for you. Double twin sharing standard rooms in each guest house or lodge. So the house that we will be staying in Diani is 2 people to a room. You may be sharing an oversized bed, and there is a bathroom in each of the guest rooms. When we get to the Masai Mara, it is double beds, so 1-1. You'll be in a private guest house along the way with a private bathroom that, yes, does flush, have hot water, running water, all those good amenities. All your meals are included except while traveling, ground transportation throughout, your entrance fees for game drives or safari, and to each of our entrance fees for all of the activities that we will be doing. We've included approximately 3 liters of water a day, which is usually plenty, or it could be something like this, 1.5 liters. Our safari guides, tips, your Kenya visa is included, and we will take care of that for you, like we mentioned. Lots of hugs, laughters, and memories that will last a lifetime. So to secure your spot, it's a $500 deposit. Because we, like I said, we still have about 7 months out before your last payment is due. So payments can get creative, whether you want to do a monthly payment or if you want to do lump sum payments, we can arrange that as well. I was looking at flights recently with our travel concierge team, and flights, I think we're going to get probably pretty close to 1,000. You never know. Sometimes it drops below 1,000, especially if you're coming from the Rocky Mountain region. So what's not included? Your cell service. So we are going to encourage you not to be on your cell phones or social media very often. Of course, you will have access every day if you'd like, but if you do need to make cell calls, that is your own responsibility. We do show you in our travel training how to use WhatsApp or Facebook applications to still continue to be in touch with your family. And of course, if there is an emergency, you're more than welcome to have access to our direct lines here, which is much cheaper than using your American-based cell phones, which can be $4.95 a minute if you're calling from Kenya. So shopping, you're responsible for your shopping budget, and you know kind of your shopping styles. Again, in our trip training, we will be going over many of the items that will be available as you're out and about and what our past Soul Safari guests have tended to want to take home so that you can kind of get a better idea. Travel insurance, if you choose to have travel insurance, whether it's for cancellation, sickness, emergencies, that is up to you. We will give you recommendations. However, especially if you're planning to travel a lot next year, I'll give you a recommendation for a year-long plan, which is so affordable. Immunizations or vaccinations, if that's something that you choose, those are your responsibilities and not included. We will give you the guidelines, although just to let you know, there are no vaccinations that are required to enter this country unless you're coming from a country where yellow fever exists. And to my knowledge, none of you live in any of those countries so far. So, but we will go over that extensively. Any medications that you're on or choose to take, those are your responsibilities. Also, laundry. So when we are at the beach house, it is included in your stay. And that's why we'll show you how to pack lightly, because you can have your laundry done there. So just a couple of outfits, and plus it's beachwear, right? You don't need to have a lot of clunky, heavy items packed. But if you do need your laundry washed on the second portion of the trip, it is going to be about $4 to $6 US. Your airfare, again, our travel concierge team will be booking that for you, and fare watching from your preferred departure airport to get you the best deals on the best price with the shortest travel time. Of course, you will be experiencing a soul sisterhood. We do have many activities and experiences that are planned for you to really connect heart to heart, soul to soul with the women who have chosen to say yes to themselves for this adventure. So secure your spot now. Like I said, we've got 5 spots open right now. It's just a $500 deposit to lock that in for you, save that for you, and then we can get creative with your payment plan. So let us know. If you have any questions, reach out to me. I'm always happy to answer your questions, flesh some ideas out. And like we say here, we must take adventures in order to know where we truly belong. So it's my pleasure to welcome you to Kenya on this Soul Sister Safari, April 2018. If you have any questions, you can just raise your hand. There's a box below, or you can put something in the chat if you'd rather, and I'm happy to answer that. If you have any questions that come up after this, of course, reach out to me as well. I'm always here to answer any questions. No question is too silly, believe me. I think I've heard it all. You never know. But people have questions about traveling internationally or the safety. It's totally safe here in Kenya, you guys. The smart ass in me sometimes when people say, is it safe to travel to Kenya? I kind of want to say, no, it's only safe to live here. But no, it's a really safe country. We do have testimonials from previous guests and their experience, as well as coming with teenagers or young people, which we totally love. We've had lots of girls that were coming for their high school graduation, 20-year-olds. We've had 8-year-old kiddos come with their moms. It's really a fun time here in Kenya. So we welcome you. Please come have an adventure with us. And if you'd like me to share this recording with you, just pop me up, let me know, and I'll send you the link as soon as it's downloaded. And until next time, Karibu Kenya. And Jambo. Jambo is Swahili for hello. And then let's see, Masai. To say goodbye. In Masai, we say Olaseri. So have a fabulous Thursday wherever you are in the world. Big hugs.